Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Head, and welcome back to the Baseball Head. And hope you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So we're waiting for the NLCS to begin again. In Game 3, the series is tied. The Mets were able to tie the series, and in Game 2, they won 7-3 against the Dodgers. But they announced today the Gold Glove finalists over the American League and the National League. I'm not going to run down through all the names, but someone was shockingly omitted from that, and that's Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor, who, quite frankly, is probably the best defensive shortstop in the game, if not in the National League, and he's been snubbed again. This is Mets bias on steroids. The last 3 years, he should have gotten the Gold Glove the last 3 years. In 2021, he got injured when the second half began. He was out for 6 weeks, and you saw how lacking the defense was for the New York Mets. 2 years ago, he played much better defensively, in my opinion. Played great last year defensively and has been terrific this year. And he's really the best shortstop in the National League, top to bottom, defensively, offensively. He's probably the best leader in the National League. I think we kind of all agree on that. And he has been snubbed. And we're going to get into this. This is from SNY. Headline: Mets Francisco Lindor shockingly snubbed as Rawlings announces Gold Glove finalists. Lindor's omission defies logic. That's damn right. Unless you understand, the Mets have a great bias against them. And we know that. We see it all the time. Never forget, Jorge Lopez said the Mets were the worst team in MLB. And that's how the Mets are viewed around all baseball. And I would mention that is how they view us. This is how a lot of the teams feel about us, organizations, and MLB in general, and some of the players too. Well, I will say this too. There's also this comment that has popped up over the last couple of days from Derek Jeter, I guess from years ago, when asked about, well, who's your rivals and this and that? What do you think of the Mets? Well, the Mets are just the Mets. Derek Jeter. All season, as Mets star Francisco Lindor showed game after game that is perhaps the best defensive shortstop in the National League. Him being one of the 3 finalists for the 2024 Gold Glove Award was viewed as a fait accompli. The only question was whether Lindor would edge out the Cubs' Dansby Swanson for the hardware. But when Rawlings announced all of its Gold Glove finalists on Tuesday, Lindor's name was absent from the National League shortstops. The 3 finalists are Dansby Swanson, Ezekiel Tovar of the Rockies, and Mason Wynn of the Cardinals. Now, Tovar is a very good shortstop, but he's essentially a rookie. Mason Wynn, I don't know what kind of shortstop he is. He just came up to the majors. He's essentially a rookie. Those guys do not have any cachet, okay? And they are not the hitters, and neither is Dansby Swanson a hitter of Lindor's quality. Going by outs above average and range via Baseball Savant, which is arguably the best way to measure defensive value. Here's how Lindor and the 3 finalists stacked up. Swanson, 18 OAA, 99th percentile. Lindor, 16 OAA, 98th percentile. Tovar, 15 OAA, 98th percentile. Mason Wynn, this is a joke, 3 OAA, 83rd percentile. Baseball Savant also measures arm strength, which is a small factor here, but Swanson and Lindor are both below average in that regard, and it did not stop Swanson from being nominated. That's the one thing about Lindor that surprised me since he's been with the Mets. His arm is not the strongest, but it's very accurate, and he doesn't make any errors with it. Lindor won 2 Gold Gloves with Cleveland, but has not yet won one as a Met. Not winning one is understandable given the competition, but Lindor not being nominated this year and Wynn being one of the finalists defies logic. Quote, I thought that, let me see how I can put this one. I had a good defensive year, but I guess there's other players that had a better defensive year than me. Lindor said he, after taking a long pause to think about his answer. At the end of the day, I'm trying to win a World Series. Hopefully next year I get a chance at a Gold Glove. Now, like I said, he is the glue in the Mets infield. He makes all the plays that are at his. He's great up the middle. He's great going to his right. He's terrific going in on the ball. He's got great range. The only issue is his arms. It's average at best. But the thing is that to see this again, bias, again, from Major League players and Major Leagues, tells you how much they really, and I've said this many times, they despise the Mets. I would mention that Luis Severino is up for American League Gold Glove for pitchers. National League, excuse me. A couple of things, and this is something also to go back on. Discussion shortstops. I don't want to forget this. Last year, Anthony Vulpi won the Gold Glove for shortstops last year. And that was a shocker. The fact that he was even nominated was a shocker. And the reason I bring that up is because last year, being in New York, all Yankee fans did was complain about how poorly Vulpi was at shortstop. In fact, he was so bad, they were actually talking, not only fans, but commentators and all kinds of people talking about him maybe moving to second base. And he wins a Gold Glove. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I don't watch every game with Vulpi, but Vulpi isn't a Gold Glover, according to his own fans and people that actually watch the club. So how did he win a Gold Glove? I also thought 2 years ago that Jeff McNeil should have gotten a Gold Glove because he was so great as a utility man. He didn't get a Gold Glove, and neither did Luis Guillorme, who was the other utility guy that was up for the award. But this continues on, this sort of bias against the Mets and against us. Never forget, we are the customer, the fan, and we should demand that we be treated fairly by Major League Baseball. And if we don't, then we're going to have to deal with them writing emails and making phone calls and say, look, treat us better. Treat us, we're just as valuable as the Yankees. We're just as valuable as Yankee fans and just as valuable as Dodger fans. So why do we always get the short stick, get the short, end of things? The Mets are the Mets, right? Isn't that what Jeter said? And Jorge Lopez said that the Mets are the worst team in MLB. Get this, folks. Now I'm looking at it. Juan Soto, who has a negative 4.088, was nominated in right field. Now, I am a big fan of Juan Soto as an offensive player, but he sucks. He sucks as a defensive player. He stinks. He's terrible. No matter where they play him, in left field, right field, and if the Mets sign him, we're going to have to deal with that. But he is not a Gold Glover under any circumstances. Why is he nominated, but Francisco Lindor isn't? There you go. Bias against our team, America's team, the New York Mets. So let me know what you think about this video. Please subscribe to Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.